Hello, it's Thursday, October 1, and today we're going to be looking at Mark 8 together. As always, I've posted a link to this chapter right alongside this video, so if you'd like, you can easily find the passage by clicking on that link, and I really encourage you to take some time to read the passage on your own before watching the rest of the video. In Mark 8, we come to sort of a turning point in Jesus' ministry. Jesus, up until this time, has been traveling throughout the countryside. He's been performing miracles. He's been teaching. And he'll still continue to do these things. But up until this point, he's been getting his disciples to understand who he is. And he asks them here in kind of the back half of this chapter, "Who do people say I am?" And they give some answers. And then he turns to his disciples and he says, "But what about you? Who do you say I am?" And Peter says, "You are the Messiah," or in some translations, "You are the Christ." Messiah and Christ mean the same thing. They're just from different languages. And so they identify, the disciples, having spent this time with Jesus, they understand that he is God's chosen one. He is the one that God has sent to save the people, to bring about God's will on earth. And now Jesus moves then into part 2. They've understood that he's the Messiah, and now Jesus begins to teach them that what it means for him to be the Messiah is that he must suffer and die and rise again. This is the way he'll carry out God's plan. This is the way that he'll bring salvation to God's people. And this is the way that he'll bring good news for God's world. And in some ways, I think the story right before Jesus' discussion with his disciples sets this up. Jesus finds a blind man, and Jesus sets out to heal him. He spits on the man's eyes, puts his hands on him, and the man can kind of see what's going on. He can see like the shapes of people, but not enough. And so Jesus touches him again, and then the man can see. And in some ways, that's what the disciples are going through. They're kind of in the middle here. They've gotten to the point where they can kind of make out who Jesus is. They have some idea what Jesus is up to, but they need to learn more. They need more influence, more teaching from Jesus. They need to understand how he's going to carry out God's plan. And then Jesus goes on to explain what that means for us. If Jesus' ministry is about suffering and dying and rising again, then those of us who follow him should be prepared to go through suffering. We should be willing to give up everything to follow him. So those are my thoughts with today's chapter. If you've got thoughts or comments, please leave them in the comments or get a hold of me some other way, and I'd be happy to talk with you and respond to you about this. Thanks again for watching. Have a great day.